cottage on the corner as you're going out. Usually daffodils up there. But then when you get down here, you get some nice old cottages. I think some of these are the poorhouse in the past. But they're not poor houses anymore. The more affluent people would live in them now. We are coming down to the Black Line. Look at that sky. When I'm in one direction it's too bright, and the other direction like that it's perfect. This building here was an old farm. It's now converted into somebody's house. So I'm not sure there's any working farm, well, other than Park Hill farm. I don't think there's any farms left. I think some of the houses may have been farms in the past. Oh yeah. So we're now at the Black Lion, right on the bend, and then that route down there would have took you into Firbeck Hall in the past, but it's now shut down. But there's some guys working down there, so I don't know whether they live in the houses just before it or not. But one bit you would have been able to walk out of the house down to the local pub. If you go around the bend, like I suppose a lot of people are doing at the moment with all this rubbish going off, going around the bend, Black Lion there, sells meals. I'm assuming it'll reopen, but you never know. But that's the only facility left in the village of Firbeck, other than the church. But what I'm going to do is take you down to the gatehouse for Firbeck Hall. And then what we might do is we might sneak back around the back and see if we can see the old hall from a distance, because they're working on it at the moment. The developer wants to build on the land, but he's been told he's got to sort the existing buildings out first, which is fantastic news. He started with the old gatehouse. I think that sold for about 350 grand. And then he's now working on the actual main hall itself. Originally, Firbeck Hall was a place to be. It was a country club. Well, prior to that, it was a family who owned it. Then a Sheffield stockbroker bought it and turned it into a country house. Prince of Wales used to visit because there was an aerodrome around here, used by the RAF in the war as well. And the rich people used to come down in the planes to Firbeck Hall. They used to have a band on here at night. I think in the 1930s it was on BBC. Then I think it was used for Vogue shots in the 60s. Then it became some sort of a rehabilitation centre, I think, for miners. And then it got left to go to rack and ruin. I think, and I'm not 100% sure, but I think the slate from Lawton's Hotel, they were going to use it to repair the roof on this. Because I think the developer owns that site where Lawton's Hotel was. It was a slate roof, and I think that slate was took off to be reused over here. But I'm sure he'll need a lot more slate than what was on the Lawton's Hotel, because it was in an absolute. This Firbeck Hall was in an appalling state. people used to come in to the hall to have a look around, and there are some videos I understand on YouTube. But now you can see from the back that the hotel's been worked on, the scaffolding all over it. And this is a shame because it looks like somebody's hiding the gatehouse now behind fencing. Or they're just hiding the garden, I don't know, but I'll see the gatehouse in a minute. I think this is East Lodge. It's either East Lodge or West Lodge, but you could see the actual pictures on the internet. Alright, so we're outside East Lodge or West Lodge, and it's just reminding me which direction I'm going to go now. So I'm going to go back up towards the village of Firbeck, cut round the back. I should be able to pick a track up round the back, and I should come back out round here. And then I might go back up the village and walk back to Dinnington, so it'll give you different angles to actually do walks. So when I get back into Firbeck, I'll pick you back up with you. So we're back in the village of Firbeck. There's the Black Man Hotel. Across there is the village hall. There is a bit of parking round here, not much. And whether they mind you parking on the village hall when there's nothing going on, I don't know. But I'm going to go down here, this footpath. My only concern is if the field's really muddy today. But there's lots of different angles around here I can do this, so I'll just do it on the fly. The brook again appears just round here as well. Oh, the beck. See the brook again, coming out the other end of the village to what we saw at the other end. I'm just going to follow this path round, and then what I'll do is I'll pick back up at the footpath across the fields. Just been following the footpath for a short while, or like a bridle way. Now there's another sign for a footpath. What I think I'm going to do is cut across here, and then I'm hoping I can get onto another track and actually get through the grounds at the side of Firbeck Hall. But I should be able to pull up the house. I can just pull that in there. You can see the back end of Firbeck Hall. I think once I get across this track I might be able to just zoom in on the house from there. I could get further up, but can't be bothered today. I've just been talking to somebody who was going in to the site from the Firbeck end, a girl picking a boyfriend up who works on security there. They're a bit hot on security at the moment. and my camera zooms to about 350, so I think when I get to the other side of this footpath, I should be able to pull the house in for you rather than going round the field, edge of the field. But I'm more interested in showing you the grounds. There's something called the lake house here, and you can get through the grounds of the lake house on a public footpath, and that actually pulls you in quite close to the hall as well. You can see it's a bit muddy here. That's why I'm a bit reluctant to go around and get absolutely sludged up around there at the moment. If you just bear with me, I'll turn my camera back in a minute when I get to that yellow post down there, and I'll get you an angle, if I can, at the back of the house. There was a lake at the back of the house, but I think they're doing something with that at the moment, because it looks like they're doing some excavation, whether they're filling it in, because the hall, as far as I know, is going to become flats, individual flats. Why it come to become a hotel? It would be perfect for a country hotel. It's a bit muddy here. But I'm going to get a decent angle from here, and I'll probably pull up an angle better than if I was actually close by it. And what I'm going to have to, if I go down, and then what I'm going to do is zoom in on it. Just trying to hold the actual camera steady. Shall bring my tripod out with me one time, but there you can see the back of Firbeck Hall. Just in front of that is a lake, or there was a lake, but like I said, I think they're actually doing work on the lake at the moment, whether, like I said, they're filling it in and just landscaping, I don't know. So I'm going to now try and find this footpath and cut back through. So I've just been talking to a couple who said that there are going to be flats in the main house, and they're also going to be building on the other houses on the land, and the developer's now pressurising to build more flats on there. I think really it should have become a hotel, because that would kept the historical side of things, so people could go in and have a room and stay in the hotel, but also it would have had a less impact on the village, because say there's 50 or so people living on there, or even more, 100 people, there's going to be a lot more impact with cars from that than if there was a hotel on site. So I'm a bit disappointed with that, but at least the silhouette of the house is still there. So I've come across that field. Like I said, you can get round the edge and have a better look into the house round there, but I don't know how muddy it's going to be. There's the yellow post to say you can get through here. So I'm going to go through here, get me onto a road, And once I get onto the road, I'll get into somewhere called the Lake House on a public footpath, get through the estate, and I'll come back round where East Lodge is or West Lodge is. And I should be able to get the periphery of the house, because it looks like Lake House and Firbeck all, when you look from it above on Google, are pretty joined at the hip somewhere. So I'll pick up with you when I get to the other end of this footpath. So I got to the other end of the footpath, you can see a gate there to somebody's house. I'm going to cut down here. I'm not 100% sure where I'm going this time, but I think I'm headed in the right direction. I'll find out in a minute when I get down here. I haven't been around here for absolutely ages. Since June of last year. The walks are not fresh in my mind at the moment. But hopefully I'm on the right track. I haven't a clue how far I've come today, so it's not for your fair weather walkers, but like I said, you can do the short bit to Letwell to get you going. So I'm coming to a road now, off a main road. I'm not sure, I'm turning left. I'm not sure what this village is. I'm pretty certain I'm heading in the right direction. I have to go like what appears to be private land through a gate, and it's public right away. In fact, I can see the house again over there. Zoom in on that. See the house there, it's a bit faint. Not great for pictures over that side. But I'll keep the camera on because it's quite interesting round here. This is how the other half live. I think there's an old mill of some kind down here on the left hand side. But in the first lockdown, got nothing better to do, and I'd just go out for a walk and see what I could find, and this is what I found. Sure, if you can find this on the map if you put in Firbeck Hall and Lake House, you'll be able to zoom in on what's around here. Like I said, it's like being in Derbyshire, if you know where you're going round here. There's some unspoilt land. Interesting sort of old-fashioned building there. You could say, I wonder if that's an old mill. Hughes Mill House. I say photographs don't do these places justice, and videos. So it's Hughes Mill House. Takes you back to the main road. I think that's the Maltby Road. I'm going a bit low on juice on my camera. I should have really recharged yesterday, but hopefully there'll be enough charge left to get the last bit in. So the public footpath here is actually through this little gate here. You can see it. If you look there, just come back a bit. So we're going through that gate. There's a footpath sign there. I made the mistake of actually trying to walk around the field one day, and it's not around the field. So we walk down here. I'll pick up with you a bit later. That's back to where I came from. There's the house. Just shows you how they live around here. Another house. You can see we're on public footpath. Go through another gate. It's absolutely beautiful around here. There's all like lakes at the back of the houses. Just shows you how the other half live. That takes you back up there. You can see lakes in the back. I'm not going through too much, but I am on a public footpath. It might be a public road again, I'm not sure. I don't think most people know these places exist. It's nicer actually being out here and seeing it for yourself. Like I said, I'm not going to pry too much into people's gardens, but you can stick your head over and have a look if you actually walk out here. Yeah, so I'm back on a public road anyway, so there's no issues around here. Even though it's a public footpath back there, I didn't want to photograph too much. But what I'm going to do is, we're coming up to another road here, another main road I mean. And there's a footpath through the estate where Lake House is. It'll bring me back out at the lodge at Firbeck. And then I've got to decide which way I go from there. But I'm basically taking you on a virtual walk. Some people's legs won't carry them this far. And it's a shame for people not to see it. So I think this is the Maltby to Old Cote Road. And I'm turning left here. reason I found some of these footpaths, I wasn't sure. I was actually able to go through the last one, go through that gate, and I tried to get around the field one time. I spoke to a couple who told me I could go through the actual gate, and then it's the same here. There's a sign for a footpath, and it looks as though you don't go through the estate, but you do. So we turn off here. See these beautiful cottages just here. And we're coming down to the lake house. It says private, you can see footpath. It's not right well marked, because I thought footpath was on the outside. It isn't. It's through this gate. As it says private, go through this gate and then we'll find a stile. And I'll show you the way. So this will take you up to Lake House. See this stile just here? And I got confused the first time I came this way, because we're going to head for that bridge. But when I came one time, it was all gated off and I didn't know you could go across that bridge. So I spoke to somebody, I went the wrong way. Spoke to a guy and he said the actual footpath's over the bridge. And they put a gate on it to stop the sheep coming out from across the bridge. So I'm just walking across to this bridge, but cameras just don't show you how beautiful it is around here and how other people live. How people amass this amount of wealth, I don't know. The harder you work, the less money you earn. The less you work, the easier money comes to you. But like I say, I've come from there, from the stile down there. It's very hard describing this to people. The video camera really highlights how beautiful it is around here and how affluent certain people are. I'm not against people amassing money, but I sometimes wonder, really sometimes wonder how some people can work hard all their life and get nothing, and other people seem to have everything and don't work half as hard. So we're at the bridge now. I don't know what river that is. You can see how beautiful it is around here. Just zoom in on that house for you. I think that's the lake house up there. Like I say, just walk across the bridge. Even got geese here at the moment, Canadian geese. Really want to show